Divorce Dad Diaries, day 73. It's wedding day. Not my wedding day, of course, but naturally I went and found the closest McDonald's to myself and get myself an iced latte. And then about mid-morning, I decided, you know what? Time to get ready for the wedding. Although I only got, partially ready before having to take a break. I'm just sort of in my feelings at the moment. Nobody goes into a marriage with the intention of getting a divorce, but that's just what happens for a lot of us. Seeing family yesterday was great because, my dad, my stepmom, my uncle, they've all been through divorce. It was good to talk about it, but this is a lot harder than I thought it would be. And this is one of those moments where I really have to just do the unhealthy thing and just shove all the feelings down, because it's not about me, it's about them, and it's their moment. It's just hard. But I always feel better after sharing my feelings with the camera, it's a lot easier to share my feelings with you than it is to share it with, I guess, someone in person. So as soon as that was done, wedding continued to get ready for the wedding. Put on the blue pants, lavender shirt, button up with the grandma's curtains. And following that, I made sure that my moustache was all up and done. Just made sure that it was out of the way. Because it's gotten so long that it's become difficult to eat. So long as it's out of the way, that's all good. My moustache inspiration, that's probably the easiest way to describe it, for this particular wedding was Kurt Russell in the movie Bone Tomahawk. I'll attach a picture here just because if you've watched the movie Bone Tomahawk, there's probably one scene you remember and it's not Kurt Russell's moustache. So if you're a horror fan, probably a good movie to watch. For everyone else, please ignore that movie. I guess if you haven't watched that movie, your new word of the day is bisection. But anyway, the mustache was done and, here's me before the wedding. And here's me after the wedding. So I went in as the guy who knows the groom and no one else. And pretty early on, I ran into this fella. And he was husband with the organist. And he was like, hi, I'm here with the organist, not here with anyone else. And I was like, I'm not here with anyone else either. And pretty immediately it was like,
did we just become best friends? Yup!
So before you know it, I was making friends with all the 80-year-olds. Old enough to be my grandparents, still young enough to be my friend. It's funny, I went into this thinking I'd get stuck in my feelings and just be kind of a sad sack all night, but I ended up making connections with a bunch of fun people. Because being the one guy who knew no one but the groom, I also ran into the woman who knew no one but the bride. So we connected over there. And it was like, like a Romeo and Juliet story, only nobody fell in love and nobody died. I also had to give a speech, which was fun until the part where I almost cried in front of a whole bunch of people I've never met before. Either way, I went into this as a divorced man thinking I was just going to be like stuck thinking about what could have been, and came away having a pretty good night. So that's good. I'm glad to report it was a good time, and I will catch you hopefully back in normality going into next week on the flip side.